at the T-minus 1 minute mark.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
At this point, the autonomous flight computers have taken over the launch countdown, and stages 1 and 2 are pressing for launch. Let's listen in to the launch director's final go.
MD is go for launch.
As you heard, we are go for launch. Let's listen in to the final seconds of the countdown.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Enroll 77. Vehicle is pitching downrange.
And with chamber pressure is nominal.
At T plus 30 seconds and counting, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. And in just a few seconds, we'll throttle the engines down in preparation for max Q, which stands for maximum dynamic pressure. It's the moment in the
Power
launch
and telemetry nominal
when the vehicle experiences the greatest mechanical stress that it will see during its ascent. To help go from vertical to horizontal, the first stage also performed a gravity turn where the engine's gimbal a small amount
supersonic
to turn the first stage from going straight up to horizontal with the help of gravity. Eventually, Falcon 9 will be roughly horizontal to Earth as we achieve orbit.
Max Q.
Falcon 9 has just passed through max Q, and the rocket typically needs to go 17,500 miles per hour horizontally in order to avoid being pulled back down to Earth and get into orbit. You can track our progress to orbit by watching the left corner of your display, which is showing first stage velocity and altitude. We have several events coming up in quick succession, and we should hear them all called out by mission control. These include main engine cutoff, or MECO, stage separation, stage 1 flip, second engine start 1, and boost back burn. Main engine cutoff is when we shut down all 9 M1D engines on the first stage. Stage separation is when the first and second stages of Falcon separate from one another. Stage 1 flip is when the booster uses its nitrogen gas thrusters to flip the booster around. Next, second engine start 1, we will light the MVAC engine on stage 2 for the first time, and after that is boost back burn, when the engines will light to place stage 1 on a trajectory towards the landing zone. So keep an eye out for these events happening back to back.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage 1 boost back startup.
And there we had conclusion of that quick series of events, which again were main engine cutoff, second stage separation, stage 1 flip, second engine start 1, the MVAC engine, and the start of the boost back burn. Coming up next will be fairing separation in just a few seconds. The fairing will jettison away from the second stage as it is no longer required to protect the payload once we're in space.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there's that confirmation of fairing separation. As we mentioned earlier, we will be attempting to retrieve these fairing halves once they fall back to Earth.
Stage 1 boost back shutdown.
Stage 1 has concluded its first of 3 burns on its way back to Earth with the confirmation of boost back shutdown. This has properly oriented Falcon 9 for its return trajectory. And we're currently just past 3 minutes and 40 seconds into today's mission. The next major milestone is coming up at the T plus 6 minute and 44 second mark, when you should see the first stage's entry burn on your screen. To start the entry burn, we will relight 3 of the 9 M1D engines on the first stage, starting with the center engine, known as E9, followed by E1 and E5. The booster engine graphic on the right-hand corner of your screen displays...
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Great confirmation, both vehicles on nominal trajectory. The booster engine graphic there on the right-hand corner displays the arrangement of the 9 M1D engines, with an outer ring of 8 and a center 9th engine. These are held in place on the vehicle by a structure called the octaweb. And again, 3 of these will light during the upcoming entry burn. The entry burn is similar to pumping the brakes to slow the vehicle down as it passes back into Earth's atmosphere. And we need to slow down to reduce re-entry forces. This helps us to recover and ultimately reuse the first stage. During the entry burn, Falcon 9 is decelerating by firing its Merlin engines, but the vehicle is still moving really fast. This causes it to fly through Merlin's exhaust gases, also known as the rocket's plume, which deposits a layer of soot on the vehicle's surface. That soot comes from the carbon-based fuel, RP1, that Falcon 9 uses. With each flight, that layer of soot builds up a little bit more on the surface of the vehicle, and that's why our flight-proven vehicles look the way they do. Now, we are still just over a minute away from the beginning of the entry burn. You can see on the left-hand corner of the screen, the first stage is decelerating as it makes its way back to Earth. The first stage is not only going to use the Merlin engines for re-entry and landing, it will also use the titanium grid fins and nitrogen gas thrusters for stability and control. Falcon 9 is attempting a re-landing today back on land at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station's Landing Zone 2. As a reminder, at the request of our customer, we will not be displaying any views of Stage 2 for today. Falcon 9's reusability is key to lowering the cost of spaceflight, enabling more investments in critical space infrastructure. It allows SpaceX to refly the most expensive parts of the launch vehicle, which in turn drives down the cost of going to space, making missions like today's possible for more organizations and more often. The Falcon 9 first stage supporting today's mission will be performing this upcoming entry burn for its 4th time. Now we're about 10 seconds away from the beginning of entry burn, and again we'll be relighting 3 of the 9 M1D engines.
Stage 1, entry burn startup.
There's that call out for the startup of the entry burn on Falcon 9's first stage. This is set to last about 15 seconds. And again, we're slowing the vehicle down in preparation for its final burn and landing.
Stage 1, entry burn shut down.
The entry burn has shut down on the Falcon 9 first stage. Coming up next will be the first stage landing burn about 1 minute from now. The Merlins on Falcon's first stage are optimized for sea level, and these each achieve 190,000 pounds of thrust during ascent and descent. They provide the initial power to lift Falcon 9 out of the lower, thicker part of Earth's atmosphere. In comparison, the single MVAC engine on the second stage has a much wider nozzle, and it's optimized
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
In space, producing about 220,500 pounds of thrust
has saved
in a vacuum condition.
Stage 1, transonic.
In about 10 seconds, we'll have the start of the landing burn for the first stage. This is the final burn of the Falcon 9 booster, used to reduce the remaining speed of the vehicle for a gentle and precise landing. We should be hearing that call out shortly.
Stage 2, FTS has saved.
Stage 1, landing burn.
The landing burn has started up on Falcon 9's first stage. This is the final burn the booster will see prior to landing.
Stage 1, landing leg deploy.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there we have another successful landing of our Falcon 9 rocket. This was the 4th launch and landing for this first stage. As a reminder, we will not be showing any Stage 2 or deployment views at the request of our customer. So with that landing of the Falcon 9 booster, we'll be bringing our webcast to a close. We'd like to thank the Space Systems Command and National Reconnaissance Office for entrusting us with today's mission, and we would also like to thank the Range and FAA for their support. If you're interested in more launch coverage, head over to spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information. When you're there, check out our departure board with all the details of our upcoming missions. Remember to follow @SpaceX on X for more updates. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.